Hello, hello. Just gonna hop right into it in a sort of an environmentalist mood today. So I got one of the best environmentalists in United States history here. His name is Aldo Leopold, and this is a Sand County Almanac. And this book, it's got a ton of really cool pictures in it. It's all about, getting back to nature and environmentalism, conservation, the rhythms of nature and how you can attune yourself to them when you're outside all the time. He's a really cool guy, man. He was an environmentalist in the United States before, environmental studies was offered in every university. But he is a really interesting person. Here's the back of it with the flowers. His name is Aldo Leopold. Hold on. Woo! Good morning. I'm just going to read the introduction here. Actually, the introduction, which is really cool as well, is written by a man named Hal Borland, who's also a pretty cool environmentalist writer. So this is the kind of thing you're into, like trees and plants and animals and getting back to nature and being outside all the time. And you're trying to learn English. This is a good book to begin with. And Hal Borland is good, John Muir, stuff like that. But Aldo Leopold, this is the foreword for a Sand County Almanac. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I am going to read almost the whole thing. There are some who can live without wild things, and some who cannot. These essays are the delights and dilemmas of one who cannot. Like winds and sunsets, wild things were taken for granted until progress began to do away with them. Now we face the question whether a still higher standard of living is worth its cost in things natural, wild, and free. For us of the minority, the opportunity to see geese is more important than television, and the chance to find a pasque flower is a right as inalienable as free speech. Inalienable. These wild things, I admit, had little human value until mechanization assured us of a good breakfast, and until science disclosed the drama of where they come from and how they live. The whole conflict thus boils down to a question of degree. We of the minority see a law of diminishing returns in progress. Our opponents do not. Conservation is getting nowhere because it is incompatible with our Abrahamic concept of land. We abuse land because we regard it as a commodity belonging to us. When we see land as a commodity to which we belong, we may begin to use it with love and respect. There is no other way for land to survive the impact of mechanized man, not for us to reap from it the aesthetic harvest that it is capable, under science, of contributing to culture. That land is a community is the basic concept of ecology. But that land is to be loved and respected is an extension of ethics. That land yields a cultural harvest is a fact long known, but latterly often forgotten. These essays attempt to weld these three concepts. Such a view of land and people is, of course, subject to the blurs and distortions of personal experience and personal bias. But wherever the truth may lie, this much is crystal clear. Our bigger and better society is now like a hypochondriac, so obsessed with its own economic health as to have lost the capacity to remain healthy. The whole world is so greedy for more bathtubs that it has lost the stability necessary to build them, or even to turn off the tap. Nothing could be more salutary at this stage than a little healthy contempt for a plethora of material blessings. Perhaps such a shift of values can be achieved by reappraising things unnatural, tame, and confined in terms of things natural, wild, and free. And he's from Wisconsin, where he lived the most of his life, and this was written in 1948. I believe it was published in 1949. So it is quite a bit old, but it's really good, really well written, beautiful, detailed essays about nature and living with nature and getting back to the land, or just being in the land and being outdoors every day, enjoying the little things in the world, when the grass breaks through the snow in the springtime, when the leaves start to bud and gain their leaves back in the spring, when they turn color and drop their leaves in the fall, the silence and beauty of winter as well. It's really cool. It's really well written. I would totally recommend it for anyone that's into that kind of thing and is trying to learn English. And it's Aldo, even if you're not trying to learn English, Aldo Leopold, Sand County Almanac.